watch our class Valentine party. But before it starts, Pat and I would like to tell you what we do as a class to prepare for Valentine's Day.
A few days before Valentine's Day, each class in the school makes a large Valentine card to give to the class a grade higher. Everyone in the class works on the Valentine in some way.
They can sign it or help decorate it.
Then, on Valentine's Day, we deliver our class card to the next grade and hang it on their door.
The highest grade sends theirs to the kindergarten. When you walk through the hall, all the doors look pretty. You really know it's Valentine's Day. One of the things we do that I enjoy the most about our Valentine's celebration is the choosing of heart pals.
2 days before Valentine's Day, everyone in the class, including the teacher, puts their name in a barrel. Later, the barrel is passed around for everyone to pick a name. You have to accept the name, unless it's your own, then pick again.
The whole idea is to do nice things for the person you pick, without letting the person know who you are.
Look now, Tom's desk. Of course no one will tell Tom who did it.
In the town where I was born lived a man who sailed the sea, and he told us of his life in the land of submarines. So we sailed up to the sun till we found the sea of green, and we lived beneath the waves in a yellow submarine. We all lived in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all lived in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. And our friends are all on board. Many more of them live next door. How the band begins to play. We all live in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in the yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. As we live a life of ease, every one of us has all we need. Sky of blue and sea of green in a yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine.
Performers in radio and television have to start their careers somewhere. Mic fright is one of the beginner's biggest problems. Here's a case where a young lady had great difficulty in getting the words out on her first broadcast, which dealt with fashions.
And now for the latest from the fashion world. It is good news for men. Women are going to wear their dresses. And now for the latest from the latest from the fashion world. It is good news for men. Women are not going to wear their dresses any longer this year.
To shoot a moving animal with a bow is strictly instinctive, like duck shooting or trap shooting. You swing on your lead, and by practice, you're able to do it pretty well. Although the velocity on an arrow is much lower. A running deer at 40 yards, you've got to lead him about 3 jumps. And in my own particular case, I can't say this applies to anybody else's technique, but I have a mental picture of the flight of the arrow before I loose it. And I have a mental picture of the deer coming, and I can see them meeting in my eye before I loose the arrow.
Is there a little tip of shooting with noises? Do you have any little tips on that?
Yes. One of the greatest problems of the bow hunter, and I'm speaking of just bows now, is that the bowstring, the twang of the bowstring, seems to be the most terrifying sound in the woods to a deer.
It's an alarming noise to them.
Oh, it really frightens them. And sound travels about, let's say, 1,100 feet a second, but your arrow's poking along at less than 200. So the deer hears the sound of the bowstring, and he has a built-in involuntary muscular reaction to strange sounds.
Well, I guess this story must begin that fateful day way back when I decided I should have a credit card. So I filled out this application, listed all my recommendations, sent it off in the mail, and in a month or so the mailman brought me my brand new charge-all card. Better than checks, safer than money, and not near as dirty. Well, it laid around for a couple of days, till finally I thought, what the hey, why not see if this thing will really work? So I went down to my favorite store, picked out 3 or 4 shirts or more, a pair of pants and a striped tie, and the man came by and said, yes sir, cash or charge. I said, just put it on my credit card. Write that dude up. Oh, convenient. Now I put that card away in a drawer, and I never charged $1 more. Then one day in the mail, I got this bill. Typed on a card all full of holes that said, do not staple, bend, or fold, was the astronomical figure of $3,200.42. When? There's been a mistake. So I got on the phone. Hello, hello? I got Mr. Black and Mr. Brown, and then I got the runaround, till finally Mr. Green came on the line. I said, sir, this may be hard to take, but your computer has made a mistake. It says I owe more money than I've ever seen. And he said, people like you make mistakes. Computers do not lie. Send us the bread. PDQ. Well, now this has just about done me in, so I grabbed that computer card again, the one with all those holes punched out so nice. And I threw it on the floor and I stomped it twice, and I whipped out my pocket knife and punched out a few new holes, but there hadn't been no holes before. Then I bent it double, stapled it across the end, drove my car over it. Stick that up your computer. I sent her back in and never heard no more, till one day the mailman came to the door with a special delivery from the charge-all place. Inside was a note from Mr. Green, said we run your cards through our machine, and it tells us you've overpaid your bill, enclosed as a check payable to you for $9,000. We appreciate your business. Well, I got back on the phone again, called Mr. Green, and he was in, and I said, I think there's something you should know. Then I told him what the computer had done, and I said, just remember, you're the one that told me computers do not lie. Thank you.
Welcome to the romper room, come in and dance and play. We're all about to sing a song, pop goes the weasel. The cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the monkey goes. Pop goes the weasel. Now that you know how it goes, sing along with me. Here we go. Welcome to the romper room, come in and dance and play. We're all about to sing a song, pop goes the weasel. That was fun. Now we'll sing about the monkey and the weasel. All around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought was all in fun, pop goes the weasel. Here's the last part about the thread and needle. Ready? A penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the monkey goes. Pop goes the weasel.
Once was a frog, a plain little frog, who'd sit in the stream and soak. Unlike other frogs or kittens or dogs, this frog could sing as he'd croak. He went. Now this little frog once sat on a log when he heard a bicycle ring. A boy driving by caught the frog's eye and the little frog started to sing. The boy was surprised and looked in his eyes. He couldn't believe what he saw. For a frog that could sing was a pretty rare thing, so the boy took it home to his paw. Saw the thing and heard the frog sing, he formed this little plan. He hired a hall, a band and all, and sold tickets throughout the land. The concert was set to be held at the Met. The hall held a mighty throng. The boys in the band gave the frog a big hand, and then he burst into song. Oh, that is the story of Little Frog's glory. They say he is now in bliss, for he is back in his stream, and if you chance to see him, you might hear him sing just like this.
Hi, kiddies. It's me, Uncle Alice Cooper. I wrote a special secret poem just for you. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, all my creatures were stirring, even my 6-foot radioactive mutant killer mouse. The teachers were hung by the chimney with care, some upside down and some by their hair. Alice! Oops, Mom heard that one. Well, Merry Christmas anyway. Hello, children. It's Alice Cooper. I sent you a special gift, and it's right under your tree right now. You don't know which one it is, but let me give you a hint. It's very long, makes a rattling sound, and by now, I imagine it's pretty hungry. Merry Christmas.
It's report card day at Franklin Pierce School. What's bothering you, Sluggo?
I'll never get into college now. I got a poor in friendliness.
Well, you haven't been smiling much lately.
Aw, I don't think my smile looks nice enough.
Then maybe you should take better care of it.
It's happy to.
doggone house and let me introduce myself to this, because I want you to know one thing. I just come in town and I bought the baddest cat around. I'm telling you, I don't want to bar nobody. I don't want to bar nothing. There's one thing I don't you. And that goes for you and everybody else. That's right. Hey, you! Come over here. Sit down there. Shut up! Listen to me when I'm talking to you, woman. We'll something about a bad mumbling mother. I don't think nobody in this house. That's right. Hey, you over there with the wig on. Come over here. Yes, you. Don't tell me. I knew it. Shut up. I'll bet I'll slap the taste out of your mouth. I told you. Cause I'm about a bad mama. You know about it. How about you and me, baby? Take a little walk out to the park. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you, baby. Everything gonna be cool. You know, we gonna be back way before it get dark. What you say?
that true?
If I'm eating my main meal, I'll eat at least 3 hours before I go to the court. I might have a little snack before I play, a cup of tea or a bit of cheese or chocolate or something like that. That's okay to eat. But if you're eating anything really solid and substantial, I'd try to eat it at least 2 hours before you play.
John, what does a pregame meal consist of?
This depends whether I'm playing at night or in an afternoon match. If I was playing a match, say, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would eat a late breakfast about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'd probably have a small bit of steak or a couple of chops, an egg or two, and, of course, some juice. If I was playing in an evening match, then let's say I was playing at 7 o'clock at night, well, I'd eat about 3:30 in the afternoon. I'd have a steak, try and stay away from salads. I think they're hard for you to digest. A glass of milk or something like that.
I guess most players before a match become sort of nervous. How does one relax?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer because you're going right into people's psychological traits and so on. But I think the best way, if you're really serious about it and you are playing a match that you're nervous about and you want to win, what I do is I spend time just sitting by myself and I imagine in my own mind what it's going to be. I get a mental picture of walking out on the court with my opponent, starting the match. Mentally in my mind, I imagine losing the match, how I'll feel afterwards.
We love the pot-belly bear, the pot-belly bear. Sure, they all love the pot-belly bear. But here I am, still in the department store, all by myself. What bad luck to be the last bear after all the other bears have been sold. They must have overlooked me here beside the big counter. Maybe someone will buy me. Out of all these shops, what bad luck to be the last bear after all the other bears have been sold. They must have overlooked me here beside the big counter. Maybe someone will buy me. Out of all these shoppers, there has to be somebody who'll love and want just me. I'm lovable and squeezable and looking for a friend. Here, let me tell you all about myself, just who I am. I'm the pot-belly bear, I'm the pot-belly bear. When you need a friend, I'm always there. I'm the pot-belly bear, I'll go everywhere. I'll show you how I care, just squeeze me. Won't you please give me a squeeze? Please, please, just a squeeze. If you want to please me, just squeeze me. Open your arms and take me in. I'm the pot-belly bear, I'm the pot-belly bear. When you need a friend, I'm always there. I'm the pot-belly bear, I'll go everywhere. I'll show you how I care, just squeeze me. Please, somebody look my way. You, mister, look over here.
I'm gonna line 100 men up against the wall. I bet $100 I can bang them all. I banged about 98. I thought my back would break. I went around the corner, got an oyster stew. Came back, banged another 2. I'm gonna win that banging bet. I may bang the other 2 yet. Tomorrow night at the Darktown Struthers Ball, I wish I had strength. Tomorrow night, Darktown Struthers Ball.
Ladies and gentlemen, I heard another one about a Texan. It's very cute, Lil. Disturbing a pilot that was bringing in a plane. He says to the guy in the tower, "Roger, over." Guy says, "Over." He says, "I'm bringing in a passenger plane with 100 passengers." The guy in the tower says, "What are you, nuts, in a 2-seated plane?" He says, "You heard me, son." He pulls in the plane and everybody runs out of the tower, and the guy from the tower walks over and he sees 100 little guys this big walking out of the plane. He says to the pilot, "Why didn't you tell me they were midgets?" Pilot says, "They ain't no midgets, son. They're Texans with the bullshit let out of them." You know how they brainwash a Texan? They give him an enema. Give ever hear the one where the old man went in the ladies' room by mistake and this woman got it? She says, "Get out of here. This is for women only." He says, "Don't scream. So is this." Did you ever disturb with the girl who couldn't join a key club because she didn't have a key, so she joined a country club? That's the story about an American that got off the plane in Cuba, and there was a poor Cuban standing there. He says, "Senor, you like to ball my sister?" Guy says, "I can't even drink your water." I heard a very cute story about a father who's arguing with his son. The son says, "Papa, what are those two dogs doing?" Father says, "The dogs ain't doing nothing. Beat it." Kid says, "I want to know. I ain't leaving." The father says, "They're doing nothing, I'm telling you. The little one is sick and the big one is pushing him to the Mount Sinai hospital."
The all-new Falcon for 1966. Destined by design to be the greatest compact car value ever offered. Stronger, roomier, more beautiful, yet thrifty as ever. A car styled with a modern youthful flair. A touch of the Mustang, a long sleek hood, a short rear deck, and modern curved side glass, with all the appearances of a hardtop. And this sports coupe has extra wide bucket seats, knock-off wheel covers, extra power and real eye appeal for those who think young. The new four-door sedan is smartly styled with a unique roof line and is a popular choice for those who appreciate the added convenience of two extra doors.
With the solid foundations set by Copernicus, Brahe, Kepler, Galileo, and Newton, the science of astronomy made rapid strides from the mid-18th century onward. Men's imaginations were stirred, and they began to dream of voyages to all parts of the world, and to other worlds as well, especially the moon. Back in the 2nd century A.D., Lucian of Samos wrote the first fictional account of a trip to the moon and called it The True History. 1,500 years went by before the second fictional trip was written by Kepler, the great astronomer. Then other books appeared, written by Bishop Gedwin, Bishop Wilkins, Cyrano de Bergerac, and Edgar Allan Poe. Some of these were pure fancy, as they imagined the trip to be taken on the wings of birds or in flying boats. With the introduction of balloon flights in the late 18th century, men realized that a trip to the moon would require something special to escape the Earth's atmosphere. This special device had its origin in old China about the 7th century A.D. The rocket was that device. At first, rockets or skyrockets were used as part of the fireworks display for festivals. By the 13th century, the Chinese had turned the rocket into a weapon of war against the Mongols. Shortly thereafter, the rocket weapon was being used in Europe, but at the same time the gun was being developed. Eventually, the gun, because of its far greater accuracy, became the standard weapon, and the rocket disappeared as a weapon by the 16th century.
about to hear the benediction of the late beloved Pope John XXIII. It was delivered from the window of his apartment to people from all over the world gathered in St. Peter's Square on Sunday noon in February 1963. Before he appears, the bells of St. Peter's ring out.
Nicholas. Albert. I don't know where they are, but I'd like you to meet me two pals, me buddies, me two amigos. I'll tell you all about them. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. Strange as it seems, I met in my dreams nicotine and alcohol. Here's what they said to me: use your head, you see, your life is very, very dull. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. So I said to Nick, tell me quick, what should a fella do? He said to me, boy, easy to see, boy, you should try a cigarette or two. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. So I lit a fag and it took me a drag. Then to my great surprise, I started to gasp, coughed like a rasp, and everything spun around before my eyes. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. So I said to Al, be a pal, what do you really think? He said to me, boy, easy to see, boy, smoking's kid stuff, pour yourself a drink. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. So quick as a wink, I took a drink, swigged a glass full down. First seemed to hit me, then it turned round and it bit me, and everything went spinning all around. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. Well, here is the joke. When I awoke, it wasn't finished yet. I noticed first a terrible thirst, and then a craving for a cigarette. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. Well, take my advice, this smoking is nice and the drinking is really lush. As you can see, there's no change in me, I'm still pure as the driven slush. Well, I never gargled, I never gambled, I never smoked at all, until I met my two good amigos, nicotine and alcohol. Nicotine and alcohol.
Try to shut out all human voices that you can. I know you'll have to go to work. I know that you'll have to associate with the world. Certain things you'll have to do, but at your lunchtime instead of eating. Oh no, you won't die, mister. It'll be good for you. I said it'll be good for you. Anybody in this audience listening to this message that has a habit of tobacco, if you'd do without food, if you drink nothing but water for 10 days, you'd find that your body would rid itself of that nicotine, and you'd have no desire for tobacco after 10 days. And the same thing will happen. That's the physical. And the same thing will happen in the spiritual, that pollution of the mind. If you won't feed it anything for a few days on the carnal nature, and then begin to feed it the Word of God, you'll soon find that you don't have no desire for the world's amusement. You won't care anything about just sitting down on a Sunday and watching the filth of this world. You won't have any desire just to live in a world of make-believe. Your world will take on the spiritual atmosphere. As you fast, you see, you rid yourself of that poison, and your desire then is back. If you begin to read this Word, you want to read it. Did you know in your community the man that wants money more than anybody else is a man that has money more than anybody else? And do you know who wants God more than anybody else? A man that seeks God more than anybody else. If you go to church 4 times a week, you'll want to go to church 4 times a week. If you read the Bible, you'll want to read the Bible. If you pray, you'll want to pray. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So in closing, here's what fasting is all about. It's separating ourselves from food, separating ourselves, that carnal mind being fasted, reading the Word of God, just seeking God, just coming aside to refuel. And let me tell you something, mister. You don't have to backslide to need this. You can use it up. You have to be a time when you separate yourself totally and absolutely unto God.
He produced a certain type of beat. Now, may I say to you, friend, there's nothing wrong with a beat. It's used in every type of song, whether it's a march, a waltz, a polka, a tango. But rock and roll is a different type of thing, for it is a mixture and confusion of beats that jangles the nerves, so much so that men like Mike Quattro, a producer of rock shows, said in the Cincinnati Enquirer, the heavy rock music now in style motivates you internally, gives you a sexual feeling. A girl can be turned on by the music. It releases her inhibitions. The beat of the drum has always been a factor, a part of fertility rites. You cannot unmix them. A girl realizes her sexuality through the music and the beat. And there is this jangling of beats to produce mental confusion, so much so that Jim Phillips of the Mamas and Papas said any rock performer, by controlling the sequence of the beats, can create audience hysteria. We proved it in Phoenix, Arizona. The riot was to test our theory. And so Pavlov was hired by the Communist Music Bureau to work toward this end, and now I've got the proof because a book has been released written by R. Serge Denisoff, professor of sociology at Bowling Green State University, writer for the pro-Stalinist, pro-communist publication Broadside, and he said in his book, Great Day Coming, Folk Music in the American Left, Lenin and Stalin both realized the importance of music. Lenin and the Bolsheviks appeared to have appointed the American Communist Party to direct all material toward folk. Of course, most of us know that this led to rock. In Denisoff's foreword of the book, he says, this is an objective treatment of the role of communists in the so-called urban folk music movement. Of course, we know this is what led to rock. Now, why am I so opposed to rock music? Because it isn't about the Lord. It's filth. The Detroit News, my hometown newspaper, and I'm proud of this paper, had 3 days of articles covering a full page daily by Mr. Fred Sparks, who followed rock groups around, and this reporter said they're making big money singing and selling revolution, sex, and drugs. That's why I'm against it. Because it hooks young people, and they become a part of this hook generation, and their lives are ruined until they can shake themselves of this filthy beat and music and words that produces revolution, sex, and drugs. They cannot be liberated and set free, so it's my duty to preach these things. Revolution? Think of some of the hits of the past. Chimes of Freedom. The cities are burning. War blues. Burn, baby, burn. The time will come. There's a war on. Street Fighting Man. Ballad of Ho Chi Minh. Isn't that revolutionary? Sex. Dr. Schiller, researcher for the Commission on Pornography, interviewed 487 girls in Washington, D.C., 13 to 18 years of age, who were going to have illegitimate babies. The girls said that the words of the songs got to them. I can't get no satisfaction. I'm trying to make some girl. Sock it to me, baby. Let's spend the night together, making love, light my fire, gimme what you got. But they said there was something that got to them more than the words of the songs, and it was the beat, louder and faster, aroused them till it was too late. And may I say right at this point, I don't care if it's used in a gospel service on Sunday morning or a youth rally, the same beat produces the same evil inclinations, even if we tie the words Jesus saves to it. Let's have a revival and get rid of this trash in our Christian programs. Sex, Jerry Rubin in his book Do It says on page 162, the impulsive beast of our bodies, the spirit of pure, unprovoked music, has been domesticated for profit. Rock music must give birth to orgasm and revolution. Page 253, every high school and college in the country will close with riots and sabotage. Millions of young people will surge into the streets of every city, dancing, singing, smoking pot, and having sex. And he has many pages on how rock helps these situations. Oh, you can be set free. Smash those filthy rackets. Get rid of them. We could give you ad after ad from rock magazines indicating that it's tied in with sex. For instance, Jagger leaps about the stage, a real sex show. Lead singer Rod Tyner writhes on the floor in sexual postures. Tina Turner socks rock-bottom sexy rock to the audience. Jethro Tull moves with drunken abandon and phases of sexual intoxication. Mr. Sparks, Detroit News, you were right. They're making big money by selling revolution, sex, and drugs. Art Linkletter, with tears running down his face, stood in Washington before many of the senators and congressmen and said, I don't blame the death of my daughter on LSD. I blame it on the rock records and music that told her how, where, and when to take it. What did he mean? Here were some of the songs of the past. Running Around the World, Get Off My Cloud, Straight Shooter, Acapulco Gold, A Day in the Life, A Little Help from My Friends, Bend Me, Shape Me, Blue Cheer, Glass Onion, Rose-Colored Glasses, Strawberry Fields Forever, The Pusher Man, White Rabbit, You Turn Me On, etc. Sing a new song unto him. Let's get rid of this trash in our lives, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have with us a man whose presence is extremely appropriate at our teenage gathering. The Chief Guidance Counselor for the Sociological Advancement of the Youth of America.
Thank you. Very much.
May we have your name, please?
My name, Jose Jimenez.
And you are the Chief Guidance Counselor for the Sociological Advancement of the Youth of America?
I am the Chief Guidance Counselor for the social... My name, Jose Jimenez.
Mr. Jimenez, how do you feel about teenage drivers?
Is the one coming?
Hardly, sir. We're up here on a stage.
I don't care where you are, they'll get you.
Let's change the subject.
Okay, if you know how.
Sir, have you been to drive-in theaters?
Oh, yes, I've been to drive-in theaters. Yes, I've been.
Well, teenagers go, of course, and they do an awful lot of necking. Don't you think that all that necking spoils your enjoyment of the movie?
They show movies? That's not a bad idea. I never thought of that.
Sir, what do you think about teenage clothing?
Well, I think if it gets that old, you should throw it out. Although I do have a 14-year-old sweater I'm crazy about.
I see.
How old is that jacket? That's kind of cute. Yeah.
Thank you. There's been much said in the newspapers and on television that today's teenager is an explosive person, capable of extreme violence. Would you care to comment on that?
What, and get killed?
Then teenagers are violent.
He said it.
Well, in conclusion, sir, would you say today's teenager is different?
Okay. Today's teenager is different.
Hush, hush, baby, don't believe a word. Hush, hush, baby, don't believe a word. Well, you don't know nothing but believe everything you heard. Hush, hush, there's a yakety yak all the time. Hush, hush, yakety yak all the time. If you don't stop yakking, you're gonna drive me out of my mind. Woo! Hush, hush, I didn't hear words you said. Hush, hush, didn't hear words you said. If you don't stop talking, gonna leave a mighty friend. Hush, hush, baby, close your face. Hush, hush, freeze your tongue.
Our Valentine's celebration is really fun.
Sure is. I don't like to see it end. After we clean up the room, it's time to go home.
And we go home with a real sweet taste in our mouths. Lollipops for everyone.
I hope you enjoyed our party. We're glad you stopped by to see it. Why not have one in your classroom next Valentine's Day?